We're on the road to Vegas, and the road stops in New England tonight, and we're going to talk some Patriots. New England Patriots football tonight. And let's get this thing going. We're already we're right on time, but we were going to go at 9. But you know me, I'm always running behind because that's just me. Anyway, first we're going to bring in Andrew and Jagger. They are co-hosts for a show. Find out what show they do.
That's right. We're both co-hosts of the Dynasty Hour on Fantasy Sports Corporation. You can catch us right now. It's every Wednesday night, roughly around 10:15. But that time will be changing here in the near future. So stick around and check out Dynasty Hour on Twitter.
Yep. He said
How
it.
are we doing? Are you? We doing good?
Oh, I'm doing
We're good.
fantastic. I am like you said, you bring in probably two realistic Patriots fans where we're going to be pretty meh on the whole team. So let's go.
Fruitful where it hurts.
All right. Next, we're going to bring in Lewis. Okay, CJ left for a minute, but he came back. Lewis, how are you?
How we doing?
There it is. There's the mic.
It's always good to have your mic unmuted.
Yes, sir. Long day today.
I hear you.
It's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, then the weekend, right?
Yeah.
If
exactly.
you don't work on the weekend, great. If you're like the rest of America, we all usually work on the damn weekends and don't get to enjoy them anymore.
Exactly. I'm on the same boat.
It sucks, doesn't
Yeah, no, that's not fair.
it? All right, one more guest tonight, guys. CJ, he changed his name.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
There he is.
Sir, yes, sir. I switched on my iPad.
Hey,
Let me try
what's
to get
up,
my
man?
camera up for y'all.
Oh, he said med school student. What a flex. Oh, it is that. He's like
And you scared him away. What the fuck, Jagger? Sorry.
That's what
Can we
I
start
do.
the show? I'm sorry.
You good, C?
See, I think CJ is gone. We can
I
roll.
don't know.
We can
Keep
roll with
saying
it. We can
device
pivot.
not connected. He's
Dragon
gone.
knows that
All right.
internet,
He
that
comes
Wi-Fi
back. I
life.
don't know what's.
I'm just glad it's not me this time. It's normally me.
It's not you this time. I'm proud of you, man. And now you're on mute, my man. Are
See
we all on
that?
mute?
No, am I muted now?
No,
Yeah,
you're
you're
good now.
good.
We can hear you.
All right, so CJ has returned, and I don't know if we're on laptop.
God, is that a
I don't know if we're on laptop with camera now. I don't know.
We got iPad. We
faces-
got iPad going.
We got
The
iPad
faceless
going.
man has
All
a
right,
face.
all right. So on my end, it's a blank screen on your. Oh, there we go. All right. This is like the third day in a row. StreamYard has caused me to be really slow. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
You're good.
Anyway, let's talk Patriots. So we saw 2 days of camp so far. What are we thinking? Zappy going to be the quarterback?
Let's stop that now.
Yeah,
Um,
come on.
Yeah, that was a fun week. It was a very fun week, and a lot of that, I think people are just, I don't know, like now, especially with the internet, I feel like we got such short memories, and we're always ready for the next thing. We're like Mac Jones had a really good rookie season, and then there was 1,000 reasons why the Patriots had a bad season, and then Bailey Zappi just happened to like not play like shit because he wasn't coming off an injury. And then everyone was like, why can't this guy from Western Kentucky play? And I was like, you just fucking said it. He's from Western Kentucky. You know, it's just like, you know, like what do you expect? You know?
Well, it's also a lot easier to come into a situation with no expectations, and I'm assuming just from what we saw in the type of play calling that even from the coaching standpoint, when Zappy was in there, they just kind of said, "Well, we did it this way with Mac in there. Let's try it this way with Bailey," and it just worked. And it was it made look. I'm not saying look Bailey went out there and did his job. He went out there and made the most of his opportunity. I'm not going to fault a guy for crushing his chance and making a little name for himself here. Like it might get him another contract as a backup somewhere else after a stint here in New England. But let's not forget who deserves the third chance here, and that's Mac Jones.
Yeah.
100%. And I don't even say it's a third chance because his first year as a rookie, he balled out, essentially, had one of the top 10 at least rookie season of all time. But you look at that second year, there had so many different factors going on. And essentially, I think as Pats fans look at it, that offense for Bailey Zappi was really dumbed down for him. It was just, hey, this is who you need to look to for your first read. This is who you need to look to for your second read. And it was really simple for him. And not that that's any mistake. You know, he's a young quarterback who is a low draft pick. Like, that's how it should be. But he's not Mac Jones. Let's get that very clear from the get-go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I just think we got to give Mac another season. He actually has an actual offensive coordinator now. All that carousel's done and over with. We got to see what he does now. Trying to bring him on some weapons. We're still in talks about Dalvin Cook. We brought in Juju. We'll see how that fits in. But we're trying to give him an opportunity to flourish in this new offense and see what he can do with Bill O'Brien. I think I agree that Bailey Zappi was sort of a lightning in the bottle kind of moment, and we rocked with it for about 2 weeks. It worked while it did, but I think Mac is a long-term option there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was promising to see Matt. You know, I mentioned this a few weeks ago too, but I think it was promising to see a couple weeks ago a picture came out of Mac hanging out with both Brady and Devin McCourty. And the biggest concerns I think for all of us, at least for me, coming out of last year, was Mac's keeping his head about him and not losing his cool and acting like a child and a whiny little bitch out there. And the fact that he was hanging out in the offseason with Brady, who's no longer with the team, Devin McCourty, who's retired. I mean, out of recent years, if there's any Patriots that understood kind of the professional way of the team, those are the two guys you want a young guy taking lessons from. So I took a lot of positivity with seeing that picture out there and seeing them all hanging out.
And I think like we've all kind of alluded to this, but they had Matt Patricia, who was a defensive coordinator turned failed head coach, and then they made him the offensive coordinator. Let me correct myself. They made him the co-offensive coordinator with another failed head coach. And I just, who would have thought that having two shitty people manage something that should be managed by one competent person would be bad, you know? And it's just, it's a disaster. If you got to, it's like, to me, I think the two worst coaching bungles was clearly, if you read up on the Broncos situation, what Sean Payton said, it was the Broncos and then the Patriots. Like, what having two offensive coordinators is the dumbest decision. You know, like to quote Oscar from The Office, like, where would the Catholic Church be without the popes? You know, like it's and now we have Bill O'Brien, who isn't the best head coach, or excuse me, he's a terrible GM. He was an okay head coach. He was a great offensive coordinator. Where he fucked up was that he was trading away his studs to get peanuts. You know, like he was a kid that like, hey man, I'll give you my whole sandwich for, you know, a granola bar. You know, it's just like it's really, really, really bad trades. You know, it's just like it's awful. But regardless, he's here, so there's a lot of hope. Now, I just got to hear what the Steelers fan thinks of this.
And I think it's also, Jagger, I think it's also very important, since I think me and you have already pushed the amount of potential drops here. It is okay that we swear on this show, right? It's a little too late now, but.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, do what you got to do. Yeah.
Okay. We're way past that.
Anyway.
So.
We're beyond it now, but.
Yeah, we already dropped. I would have been like, whoa, no F-bombs tonight, no. No, it don't bother me. Like,
okay.
We're all grown ups. We're all grown adults, I believe. Like, you want to drop F-bombs, you drop as many as you want, dude. I don't care.
very
Anyway,
passionate
you were going to ask me what I think of Bill O'Brien or how this new
Just,
offensive
like, what-
coordinator for you guys is going to do.
Yeah, like
Just what?
as us as like a Patriots fan, I think that we are at least based. Like we're not like a Cowboys fan where they're like, this is our year every year, no matter what the situation or reality is. Like we're really based. So as someone as an outside looking in, are you still like, this is fucked? Are you like, or are you like, maybe the Patriots can be like okay again? Like maybe they can break 500 this season.
9-8, 10-7.
Yeah.
It's
Like we
Bill
could be a
Belichick.
wild card.
And Bill Belichick just knows how to outsmart Mike Tomlin. There's no if, and, or buts about it. Regardless of how much I want the Steelers to win, I just said Bill Belichick is a good coach. Granted, he lost his quarterback. The team kind of went to shit, but that's what happens when you lose your quarterback. We might see it in Green Bay this year. I don't know. So that is my theory on it. I mean, obviously, Juju don't really scare him. Parker deep. We have Minkah Fitzpatrick. I mean, the team don't scare me. It's Bill Belichick.
It's like
He just knows
I'm
how
so-
to. Bill Belichick knows how to find out to use his guys. He knows how to find and where his guys should be. He puts them in the right spot at the right time, and they make plays. Now, lately, it's been the defense, because you guys have always had a stout defense, and they've won. I mean, sometimes I think they have more fantasy offense,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know if that's good or
And
bad.
if I could touch on it,
It's good if you have the Patriots.
It's
100%.
Bill Belichick
If I-
is one of those head coaches that like this is an unpopular opinion. I think Rex Ryan would have been a good head coach if he just would have figured out his offensive coordinator situation. And that's Bill Belichick.
Mhm.
He's a great head coach. He's a great defensive mind. But if he doesn't have an offensive coordinator or at least Tom Brady, we saw it last year. We saw it. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like you got Junior over there coked out on the sideline, like like coaching the defense. Like it just doesn't seem like it's functioning when he doesn't have like Josh McDaniels or Bill O'Brien or somebody who knows what they are doing on that side of the ball. Because that's like you're right, man. That defense is going to be top 5. That's good. Like, I'm not worried about it. The defense is going to be okay. But that offense, and let's break it down into 2 parts right now. I think the coaching situation is finally solved. I'm okay. I'm ready to move on. The receiving situation, oy vey. Like again, like I'm talking to a Steelers fan. We all know what Juju is.
I
Juju
do have your rookie on the team.
Hmm?
You broke up there. What was that?
Get the rookie, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I do have the rookie on my team.
the rookie. Which
You mean
What's
what?
his
Thornton?
Gudit?
Tyquan Thornton? Oh, God! You have Booty on your team?
Keyshawn Booty. Oh, well that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing that we should it does not. It's not
No,
good.
my
Like,
buddy wanted me to ask you. You just mentioned Andrew Johnson. For fantasy purposes, is he worth it?
or Thornton.
Johnson? Who did you say? You mean Tyquan Thornton? Is that what you mean? You're breaking up a little bit, so it's tough to hear. I think you mean
For
Tyquan
Johnson,
Thornton.
yeah.
Look, here's the tough thing. If we were going to talk fantasy for a second, here, from
Thornton,
a fantasy perspective, yeah. So from a fantasy perspective, the tough thing about the Patriots wide receiver group is from 1 down to 6. We really don't know who's going to be the number 1. It could easily be Kendrick Bourne, who was absent all of last year because he pissed the wrong person off. He could easily be the number 1 receiver for this team, but it could also easily be Juju, or if Devontae Parker, finally puts it together, it could be him. Tyquan Thornton, I do not think will be a number 1 receiver ever in this league. This year, I think this year I like Bourne better than him. I think he's the number 4, number 5 receiver on this team this year, Tyquan Thornton. And I'm not saying I don't like Tyquan Thornton. I think it's just what it is. Bourne needs to be used more. He's a better receiver, and not only is he a better receiver, he's a better personality for this team. He brings that kind of fire and edge to the field that this team needs to be able to overcome some of these situations. Kendrick Bourne is a leader that they just completely ignored and underutilized last year.
Yeah,
Andrew, I totally agree, man. Like, if I could just say for 1 second, like in 2021, anytime Mac went to Kendrick, it was just a play waiting to happen. Even in last year, anytime he went to him in the little opportunities he got, it was just a play waiting to happen. And he didn't get the chance last year. It's not his fault. It's fatty boy Matt Patricia, so it is what it is. But
Amen.
he got in the doghouse because of a fight in training camp. You know, you can't do stuff like that. Can't do stuff like that.
Well, you can't keep him in the doghouse that long. I mean, it's like, okay, you made your point. It's week 8 now. You know, let's put out good players. You know, let's not like it's like you're like punishing the entire fan base because of one incident with Kendrick Bourne. Like that's what that feels like. And I guess to me, like you mentioned the receivers, I think, and this is me being hopeful. Here's where I'm getting into unrealistic territories, where it's pure fandom. Is where I read that Bill O'Brien is showing that Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. Everyone wants that again. Everyone wants that, but we have to remember that we have Hunter Henry, and I'm an Arkansas fan, so this is a double whammy. I love Hunter Henry. I love anybody who makes it out of Arkansas. We got Hunter Henry, and then we have Mike Gesicki. Hunter Henry, he's never ever going to be Gronk level. I don't even think he's going to be old Hunter Henry again. I would be hopeful for just that. But Mike Gesicki, I have hope for, and I think he could be the number 1 target.
He was still unutilized last year in Miami. Anyway,
100%.
hold on real quick.
Miami also had a lot go.
I have a Felix Jones Cowboys jersey.
Did you say you have a Felix Jones Cowboys jersey?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Felix Jones.
We're going with the Arkansas reference right there.
Those were the good years. The all one of them, all 4.
The one thing I heard just today, actually coming out of camp, that I think signifies that we don't have to worry about what happened last year with Kendrick Bourne happening again this year is that, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been Matt Rowe who said it, but I can't remember exactly which person in the coaching staff said it. But they said what they look for in a number 1 wide receiver is someone who can get open, has good hands, who can get yards after the catch. That is Kendrick Bourne's game. That's not necessarily Juju's game. It's not necessarily Devontae Parker's game. That is Kendrick Bourne's game, like to a T. That's what he did in San Francisco. It's what he did his first year here in New England. Like, if they're going to say that and then not use him again, then I don't know what the hell's going on down in New England. And if that's the case, then we've hit the point where change has to happen. If they're going to talk out one side of their mouth and perform out the other.
You know what I hate though, guys, is that before last season even started, I was confident in our offense because I was like, hold up. We got 2 good running backs, Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. We got a really good O-line. We're moving Trent Brown into left tackle, a good stable position. We're putting Isaiah Wynn at right tackle. And we've got some decent pass catchers. You know, signing Devontae Parker at the time of March of 2022, it was a pretty decent move for a $6 million salary. So I was like, you know what? We're diverse. We might not have any killer players like we did in the whole 2010s, but we're diverse. You don't know where we're going to attack. We can run it up on you, or maybe we can throw it. And I really think that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge soured us on what our offense could potentially be. And I hope Bill O'Brien can come in and turn that around for us. I really do.
And then one guy that we kind of hit and then like missed on is like the Tyquan Thornton thing. Like, let's put it this way: he's had 1 target in 2 days of practice, and like it's known that like it's known, and it's like, and this is what people don't understand. You could say you want a burner guy, you know, but he has to be a route runner. Like Tyreek Hill is a phenomenal football player. He just happens to be the fastest fucking man alive. Like that's just and that's what people don't understand. Like, John Ross would be Tyreek Hill if all you had to be is just fast, and he just retired today. I just saw that he retired today.
Yeah. Oh, did he really?
No, yeah, dude, he retired. Like it's what happens, you know. Like you got to be good. So I don't expect him to be anything. So like I think we kind of nailed it. Like the 4 guys that I think it's the 2 tight ends. it's Kendrick Bourne and Juju. Devontae Parker, I don't love. I just like that type of wide receiver has never been good for the Patriots offense. It's never been good. So I don't love it. They seem to like him. So
I wouldn't even say they. I seems like
so who's going to line up in the slot between those three?
Juju, I would say so. I mean, he really mastered that with the Chiefs, and that little whip route he does is just so lethal, man. It really is.
Yeah. Do you think Parker's in danger of not making this team? Do you think we're at that point with Parker? I think he still makes the team, but I'm not sure they're gonna use him necessarily.
Yeah. Like I said, he's going to be out there getting some exercise. I just don't think he's going to be.
Parker could be your number one.
I kind of agree in a sense because
any of them could be number one.
This is just what I read. I mean, I'm not, all over this camp here, but that's what I read. Parker could be your number one.
I kind of agree in a sense, man, in the sense that
Lewis,
Matt Gladstone was targeting.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm waiting to see. All right, I hear it. I think actually Parker is going to go into the season at least number one, and he probably loses it along the way as the season develops. I actually think Mike Gesicki will split some time in the slot. Miami did try to mix him around a little bit. I think Mike Gesicki will eventually emerge as probably the number one option. I do agree. Him and Hunter are going to be the 1-2 punch for the most part. His safety nets for Mac to get to. It's going to be interesting to see how much we run more play action, where are we going with the two tight end sets? What's Ramondre Stevenson is going to be able to compete? Are we going to relieve him? Is Pierre Strong going to get in the mix? We're going to use Taylor. We just lost Harris to Buffalo. What's the run game really going to look like? Are we just going to run Ramondre to the ground? Are we going to mix it? It's really going to come down to that also. As much as the questions at wide receiver and all that is, I'm really also worried about the running game and where the help for Stevenson is going to be, because he goes down,
the team goes down.
There's not a lot left from there. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out the pass game. We have two solid tight ends. I'm sure Parker would be a nice red zone target here and there. Juju will obviously get his catches. And I do agree Kendrick Bourne was a big acquisition a few years back. He has to get featured into the offense. And again, that offensive coordinator carousel is done and over with. So hopefully Bill and Ryan can instill a solid offense finally for this team.
For sure. Is it Luis or Lewis? Lewis. Okay. Yeah, you fucking nailed it, dude. Like, I was about to ask again what you guys were thinking about. Like, the biggest question mark on the offense I have is like we already know about the passing game is who's the RB2. Because like we've already said, like, what happens if Ramondre goes down? There is always an RB2, like a utilized RB2. It is like it. I even know this, that they ask Bill Belichick who's the starting running back that week. He has the final say on all those things, and he wants to use two running backs. I think it's Pierre Strong. As someone who is a rookie scouter, I think he had a strong profile. He's a type of running back like James White, fits that role. I think he can do a little bit more up the middle, but granted, he's not going to be a guy that you want to use like a workhorse. It's just at that point, I think that Pierre Strong is always going to be that lightning role. And then if Ramondre goes down right now, it looks like Kevin Harris to me is going to be the one that's going to step in, So,
is Dalvin
Jagger, No, I don't think so. But for 1 second, Jagger, I wanted to touch up on that. I agree. You can plug and play running backs, but at the same time, I don't think in the whole time of my watching Patriots football, I've ever seen a running back like Ramondre have that patience, have that knowing and willingness to take his time, and have that power and elusiveness that he does. And you are right about the fact that Belichick goes week by week, but he has also never spoken about the improvements Ramondre has had that he has about any other running back at the same time.
You're right, man. Like Ramondre is the first, like Corey Dillon, I saw a little bit of, but as like an actual educated fan, I have never seen a complete running back like Ramondre. We've all had mixes of it. Like there's been LeGarrette Blount and then James White, like I've seen that.
Corey Dillon and Kevin, what's his name? Falk.
Kevin Falk. Yeah. But like Ramondre is all of that. Yeah, he's all of that. So I don't know, man.
When I think of running backs in New England, I think Curtis Martin. That's just me. But he went to Pitt. He grew up in Pittsburgh. So
I get that.
I see him throughout. But Curtis Martin's also in the Hall of Fame, so he did something right.
For sure. Was he Belichick era?
That's just what I think. I don't know.
No, he was
You guys.
Carroll.
Yeah, we're too. I was gonna say I'm too young for to see Curtis Martin. Like obviously
Same.
I know the name of it, but like Corey Dillon, that's one I like. Like I said, I barely remember Corey Dillon. I remember him more
Jesus.
not being a Patriot than
Was that like 2005, 2006?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing Curtis Martin back at the old Sullivan
Was that the
Stadium.
Corey Dillon years?
Yeah, Corey Dillon was around that like 05 area. Yeah, he was around there.
I remember when Loris Maroney was the new hotness. That was a
Fuck
fun
Lawrence
time.
Maroney. Can we all just collectively say that? Like what he was supposed to be and what he was so different. Like, just damn it. Like
Yeah. Then we had like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. That's another one. He was a grinder.
the law
He needed
firm.
to have-
No,
Yeah.
Jagger, the guy that got me, man, the guy that got my heart was Stephen Ridley in that little celebration,
Yeah.
man. Come on
I
now.
fucking loved Ridley.
That was a good year. I won money off Ridley that year. That was a good
Yeah.
year.
He was on my fantasy team too. He crushed it for me.
Yeah.
He was a good free agent find in the middle of like week 6. I think people started grabbing him.
Yeah, he was.
If you weren't a New England fan, like week 6 was like the Stephen Ridley around here that year.
Wasn't he a Steeler as well, if I'm not mistaken?
Other than
Stephen
that,
Ridley.
for a couple,
Was he? Did he go there
for a
after? I
year, I
think
believe, yes.
he went there at one point.
I think he was a
He
Steeler.
bounced around. Like he had that one good year that everyone was like, "Can you do that for us?" And he like it never happened again.
Yeah, and then he ended on Tennessee, right? Is that
Kevin
where he
Falk
ended?
too
He
for
got
a
his big
minute.
injury in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had
we
Kevin
don't get-
Falk here too. I think.
Yeah, Kevin
And-
Falk is a Patriot Hall of Famer for sure.
100%.
Andrew, since we're fantasy guys, we don't get to talk defense.
But I mean,
a
I think he
lot.
played in Pittsburgh for 1
I
year.
know
Didn't
it's fun.
Yeah.
What was that? About 1 year? Falk? What?
Didn't he play in Pittsburgh for a year?
Kevin Falk?
Or was that Stephen Ridley? I don't know. I don't remember.
Stephen
I think
Ridley
that was
played from
Stephen Ridley,
2017 to 2018.
Yeah, that's sad. I don't think Kevin Falk ever played with Pittsburgh.
Okay. I thought he did for some reason. I don't know what.
I
Anyway,
think he
what were we
retired
talking
Patriot.
about?
I was
I
about
think
to
we're
ask
good.
about defense because I think we have one of the best secondaries in the NFL. I think it's top 5. Now, let's put it this way: if our rookie pick hits, it's looking pretty good. It's looking
As long as
pretty
Jeff
good.
Jones leaves his fucking guns at home.
Yeah,
nothing worse.
Jagger, do you guys expect that no matter what, it's going to be a matchup based kind of secondary, or we're going to have a set kind of starting lineup? What do you guys think?
No, that's what
It's
makes
always
our
matchup.
defense. Yeah, I think that's what makes our defense so versatile is the ability to mix and match, and we can put out what essentially are multiple secondary players into linebacker slots, and we'll see Pepper slide down and Bryant slide down, and all these guys mix and match.
Yeah.
We'll see where Jalen Mills fits in now with whatever happens with Jones going forward. But we even see Marcus Jones make plays on offense and defense. We'll see how he does. And from all reports, Christian Gonzalez is absolutely killing it. And he's killing it. So it's looking like an even better fit to the secondary because we know our front seven. Obviously, we have Judon, Wise, and Guy are there. Barmore should continue to progress. And our linebacker core is also super young. If any one of these players can hit Ochi, Simons, Anthony Jennings, Tavai has been very productive for us, especially last season. So if we can get a hit on one of these linebackers, defense is looking great. But I think the versatility and the ability to plug and play and mix guys around is what keeps us in that top 5 range.
Yeah,
it's one of Bill's favorite things is that hybrid safety linebacker. He loves that. He loves doing that, letting them jump up and putting 6 guys in a line, and the linebacker a line there, and then all of a sudden 2 drop back, but you don't know which 2 are going to drop back. He loves that shit, and I'm not worried about our defense at all. Now, will I say, if I know this is a bit fantasy biased, but look, they were like one of the top scoring defenses in fantasy last year. Do I think they're going to be like that again? I don't think we can expect the Patriots defense to be out there scoring touchdowns like they did last year because they were on another level. But do I think they're going to be solid to, and like Jagger said, like somewhere around the top 5, top 10? Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
I think the only weakness in our defense is, and like Lewis kind of hit on it. It's like I'm worried about the middle of the defense, specifically at linebacker. Like I think we're gonna give up, like kind of like we're gonna see what we saw last year, where if we're gonna give it up, it's gonna be on the run and in the middle. But hopefully, like if you're gonna, hopefully you're not gonna be able to pass. We're gonna shut that down, like pretty, like it's going to be shut down with Matt Judon in that secondary. I find it a difficult team to be able to let's say have a 350-yard game against. And like I don't know if any of you guys watch like quarterback, but like even Patrick Mahomes, like Bill Belichick. People talk about Bill Belichick just like we were talking about earlier. They're afraid of him because every week you don't know. Like, how do you watch film on Bill Belichick? Like, okay, let's watch film and let's hope. Let's plan for a couple different things. And then all of a sudden, he's playing Julian Edelman at fucking Nickelback or something like that. Like that's like, it's just hard to.
If anything, watching film on Belichick,
that alludes back to what you guys asked me before.
No, I was gonna say, if anything, watching film on Belichick's defenses will be the detriment to your game that week. If anything, because you're going to expect something and see something. It's happened to Justin Herbert a couple of times where like he goes in and he's expecting something and it's just the complete opposite,
Yep. Gets his
now, do you guys think the secondary has grown enough
like
to
Bill
where
Belichick is like 6 pages ahead of people?
He always is. But do you think the secondary has grown enough to where, look, last year they ate up younger or less talent, like middle of the road to less talented quarterbacks? Do you think they've grown enough to be able to stand up against Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, like Lamar Jackson? Like, do you think they've taken that next step? Because they got absolutely torched last year when it came to that next tier up of quarterback. And that's the way they need to take the next step for me. That secondary needs to be able to step up because they got a tough schedule this year. If the defense is going to play like last year where they just can't pull off the big plays at the big times against those big name teams, then we are looking at another 8-9 season, and it's gonna feel like a loss.
Yeah,
Andrew, the only game that gives me like some positive vibes about that is the Cincinnati game because they scored 22 that first half, and then after that, zip. We shut them out. There was nothing going on, and that's the only really game I can remember where we faced an elite quarterback and nothing else happened for them. That's the only positives I can say.
They did all right against Dak for a little bit there, and then they obviously screwed it up at the end. But
it's Jalen Mills' fault against CeeDee Lamb. We can't say anything about that.
I was about to say
Lamb game than Dak.
To me, it's the safety situation. Like we lost Devin McCourty, can Jabril Peppers and Jalen Mills step up so we don't get 8 on, like, it's those seams, like the seams where we get 8 up. Like, it's the middle of our defense is a problem, both in the passing game and in the running game, the middle of defense. Like Christian Gonzalez, like I said, like every scout loved him. I loved him. And apparently he's doing nothing but balling out, and he's just as good as advertised.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
You said you loved him too. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
This is my first. I did. I tried to get him on my fantasy. We did a IDP this year, and it was a bidding war. And I ran out of money on it. Like the whole. Yeah. Did you ever do an auction dynasty draft?
I've never done it.
Not dynasty. I've done auction drafts, but not for dynasty. It sounds miserable. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't sound fun at all.
So we have a 43-man roster with like a 22 bench.
Yeah, how much
and
money
you had like, I think it was $1,000. So you break that down, you have like $8 a person.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Crazy.
That's not enough.
So people were going nuts. Like McCaffrey was like 160, and you all right, buddy? That wine.
Yeah, I have terrible allergies up here in New England. Oh no, it's coughing. Terrible allergies up here in New England.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I still ended up with Hufanga, Minka, and Hamilton, but I didn't have enough money for Duger or Gonzalez.
Yeah, sounds like you should have doubled that.
I tried.
Yeah. Like I was like $8 per player. I was like that you're starting to get to it turns into just a normal draft really quick,
Yeah.
So,
Boy, I mean, some of them people. I think I think ETN went for 190.
Jesus. And I'm an ETN fan.
One player, you just
Auction,
have
that's
800
crazy.
for the rest of your team. You just have
Yeah, you're talking like 20% of your budget.
It was insane.
It's a lot.
One thing I wanted to touch on.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to touch on, guys, is do you think Duggar's going to be playing the same role inside the box as last year, or do you think he's going to be moved a little bit more deep this year and try to free roam deeper a little more? What do you guys think?
According to, again, this is only 2 days of training camp, but Kyle Duggar's been eating in the secondary, so I think he's going to be all over the place. Thank you for I forgot about Kyle Duggar, to be honest. That's disrespectful for me to forget about that he was back there, but I think, I don't know, man. He's going to be your roamer. We talk about him and Jalen Mills. Yeah. They're going to be the two guys that are going to be going. Remember Pat Chung? Kyle Duggar is our better Pat Chung right now, where you can play him up. You can play him up in the nickel, and I'm sure they can drop him back. He's not the fastest guy because generally the guy you want deep, you want to have a little bit of speed to him. And I think that's where, even though Jabril Peppers has kind of sucked in that, because to me, do you guys think that Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar are kind of redundant, or do you think that he can utilize them both?
No, so I think they utilize them both, because the way I look at it is that I think correct me if I'm wrong, Duggar got hurt last year, right? Am I thinking of another year? Did Duggar get hurt last year? I thought he missed time last year. I might be thinking of the year before. Either way, when Duggar is healthy and they can use him in that rover type of role, I think that gives a bit more structure to Peppers and Mills, who I think need it, because I think we've seen in the past when Mills has a bit too much freedom, that's when he gets screwed over and that's when he gets burnt. I think Duggar needs to be the guy that runs around the field like a madman, because he's also the hardest hitter that secondary has. Duggar will light someone up. He needs to be that guy that offensive weapons fear when they see him coming. So they need to let Duggar loose, and they need to tighten in Mills and Peppers to where they can play a more structured type of role in that defense. And I think that would work for this.
I think we can all agree. Yeah, please, Jagger.
Kraft's going to get Duggar's side.
Yeah, I was going to say that Peppers is the athletic
close.
What?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking of Duggar. Are they going to get this deal done?
Oh.
Are they going to get this deal done?
I don't know. I hope, but
I mean, that's a long-term contract with him.
I wish it was like Madden. Like you guys get you got 3 fucking days. You got 3 weeks to get this done. You got 3, and then we're moving on. None of this talking the whole thing. Like treat it like Madden, get it done, because it is this whole contract talk is just frustrating for everybody. I know it's important. I'm not mad at the players. I'm more mad at the rich people at top. None of us want to see this. As someone who covers football, you know how fucking tired am I of talking about running back contracts every season. Every season, we got to talk about this shit, and you got to think about, I guess, resetting and evaluating a market. Is Kyle Duggar a safety that is worth paying top safety money? I think he is, but his technical role isn't, because they don't like box safeties anymore. They don't like them anymore. Unless you're Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's just fucking Superman, they're not going to pay you that money. So that's the reality. And what the Patriots need to do is install the winning culture. Because if you guys are winning, balling out, having fun, people take pay cuts to go there to get that ring. They will stay there. Devin McCourty and Tom Brady stayed on. Probably could have made a lot more money on other teams, and they stuck around. You know why? We were kicking ass every year. And I know that's hard. To say, but that's what you got to do, man. Look at the NBA, them old heads, like Carmelo Anthony went on a veteran minimum to 4 teams to get a ring. He's like, y'all got any more of them championship rings?
That's a bad example, because Carmelo Anthony is just not a winner. So whatever.
More than rings.
Yeah, he's just not a winner.
that's kind of the difficulty I have in judging Duggar's contract because you look at like I don't know, you look at Jesse Bates' contract. It was just like 16 mil per year. Devin McCourty years ago was like 12 mil per year. These guys don't get paid like that, and I've seen some people judge Duggar's contract from 12 mil all the way to 20 mil, and I don't get it personally. I think it's going to be somewhere in the 16 to 15 mil range at max, if that.
I think the 12 mil is probably right to me because, like, if there's one thing I know about being a Patriots fans, we're cheap as hell. We're like a dad in Walmart. We ain't shit. Like, don't even ask. Y'all ain't getting it. So it's
And Matt Judon gets 16 mil as it is, so it's just like, how can we pay Duggar that?
Look, this is a good
position.
You brought up winning culture, and then you just brought up Judon, and it's a really good sign to me that Judon comes out on the second day of camp and says that he wants to finish his career as a Patriot. Like that's a good culture sign for me that we're heading back in the right direction. That's something that could be kind of broadcast to other players around the league because Judon's got connections to other guys. Like he's a big enough name that he's connected. So it feels like we're starting to head back in the right. We're not there yet, but we're heading back in the right direction.
Well, Mac Jones kind of already said it. He said that like there's good vibes and like they said the theme of training camp is trust because like we already hit it and we're kind of making full circle again. Is that like everyone lost trust everywhere? I don't know about you, Lewis, CJ. I know me and Andrew. At least for me, I've lost a lot of trust, even as a fan base. Like the fans have lost trust. Mac Jones has lost trust. Bill Belichick lost trust in Mac Jones, and they were talking shit. It was just a lot of dysfunction. So like getting back, like a positive culture. That's step one. If everyone's feeling good and wants to be there, that is step one. The wins will come later. Like they know how to win. They got it nailed down. They just it's key. It's crucial. Coaching mistakes, and it's on offense because that defense again was fine. They had Koki Jr. over there and Bill Belichick cooking up like a killer defense. So
yeah, I was always realistic about the team going forward, much like I've pretty much heard from all of you guys. Like I was realistic on like 9-8 season we're coming. Like we weren't gonna blow anybody out the water. We weren't gonna be stellar. We kind of hinted on it before. We kind of got lit up for the last few seasons by more elite level quarterbacks, and honestly we haven't really talked about our division in itself. We're going to be playing 6 not very enjoyable games. We might not have to match it with Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and for what it's worth, Miami wins when Tua is under center for them. Whatever it's for, we have to admit it. He wins games for them. We know that's going to be a track meet up and down no matter what it is. So the division itself is going to be hard. And then in the AFC, not only just those three, we're obviously fighting with Burrow and Lamar. We have to see what Deshaun Watson, Steelers, and the Pickens and all of them, how that's going to turn out. Who knows what's going to happen down in Houston if they hit with CJ Stroud. Like, it's a lot going on. Trevor Lawrence is lurking. And the AFC West, we're going to have Burrow up there. Herbert just got his deal out there with Mahomes. Like, it's just so much. And just in our division in itself, it's going to be tough to, well, not surprised if we finish last. I'm just saying, if we finish last, it's realistic.
Yeah.
Finish third, it's all, if we somehow finish second, I can also see it. The Belichick effect. Also, if one of those teams don't hit, we saw Russell Wilson. Everyone thought Denver was gonna run away with the Super Bowl, and all this is all they've been missing for all these years is quarterback. They got it, and that fumbled, and now sort of Aaron Rodgers similar situation. Quarterback. Let's see what he does. He has a sink or swim, but I'm in the realistic boat of maybe another 9-8, maybe 8-9. We'll see what happens. But the division in itself is crazy. So I don't know how you guys feel about the division.
No, that's right where I am too. I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Okay. So we agree, Jagger. I agree. It's like second best division football. 9-8 still sounds about right for me. You nailed it because even outside the division, the AFC alone is just stacked. So look, we went 8-9 last year. If I could see us going 8-9 or 9-8 this year with the schedule we have, and I could still see myself walking away from the season with one of those two records, feeling like it was the success and we took a step forward. Because for me, it's all about how we look on the field this year compared to last year. Because last year, how we looked on the field was awful, unenjoyable to watch, and pathetic. This year, if they hit that record, but they look more cohesive, they look better. Yeah, we can't deny it. The division and the conference just got exponentially better, and you have to, in order to rise above that, you have to break the mold and get better yourself above and beyond, which they didn't do that. I think we can all agree. If anything, they stayed stagnant. So I'm still willing to say that even if they finish 8-9 again, but I still see them finishing 9-8. One of those two records, it's still possible for me to consider this year a success.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like what I hope is that we steal 2 games, steal 2 divisional games. I think that's pretty good.
We have to. We have to.
Yeah.
You know, for
Glad
me,
I have
I kinda
podcasts this year
personally.
because
Go ahead,
I got booted out.
Tell us.
I don't know what happened. Like everything just went blank, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Did the whole thing just end? I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
No, we roll.
You know, Lewis, to answer your question, brother, I see it 10-7. That was my record prediction on everything. The thing that I see about it is that we saw last year with Vaughn and Tua, you know, all the teams in the AFC East this year are very top heavy. They've got some big time players on each of those squads, and if any of them get injured, it could be wraps for a couple of wins for them. And we saw today already with Jalen Ramsey, you know, that's a big time loss for them. So that's kind of the department I see it in. You know, we see it with Diggs right now, and Diggs and Josh Allen got a little bromance problems going on. So I don't know. I do agree. I think that we are 4th in division personally, but there's a lot that can go on in the AFC that can change that.
What happened with Jalen Ramsey? I was like you said that. I was just like, what? Wait.
Oh, really? He's out until like
his
week
knee.
8 or 9.
Yeah, he's out for the next 6 to 8
No.
weeks. He needs some surgery, I believe.
Yeah, he just had surgery.
It actually
They had
might
it
be a
today.
little longer, boys. No, it's going to be tomorrow. He tore his meniscus. They're going to choose to repair it, and he's out at least until December, at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a massive blow. Massive blow.
It is.
Is that
That's
why
a lot of money.
Is that
y'all
why
just
he
paid.
retweeted? Go ahead. Sorry, I
I-
just saw
nothing. I
that
was
he
just saying that-
retweeted. It's gonna be a legendary December. Is that what he tweeted earlier?
Yeah. Well, now we just need someone to give Tua a kiss on the forehead to give him another concussion. So
No, but yes, but no.
I'm kidding. I would never wish. Look, I actually think I feel for the guy that he's. I don't want to see that guy get another concussion because at that point I fear for the guy's life. I fear for his
Putting
future.
life on the.
Yeah, I
Right.
do. I'm totally.
I'm
joking.
with
I do
you,
not
Andrew, on
want to see
that. I'm with you on that.
I
one,
know,
Andrew.
it's
I
yeah,
don't
like,
understand why he's still playing. He's
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm in
Go
that
ahead,
boat
Jax.
too.
I was gonna say it's for that whole situation. I'm worried. Like, and granted, I don't know anything about anything, but like when it comes to like the medical side, CJ, you're the med school student. So
Yeah. So
where are you at?
the thing is, if they were to trim it down, basically kind of removing the meniscus, it would be a 4 to 6 week recovery. The fact that he's not going to do that based on his tweets, I'm going based off that. He just said that he's going to be a legendary for the end of the season, whatever. That assumes to me that it's going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 month recovery. He's going to go through with the repair. And that takes, for a normal person like us, it's going to be 3 months. For an NFL athlete, that's at least 4 to 6 months. So if all goes well, he'll be back in December and trying to go for that playoff push, I guess.
Yeah. I think who do you think's the divisional winner? Who do you think? Like, do you think it's the Bills or
Buffalo.
do you think it's Buffalo?
It's Buffalo. I think the Jets will perform better than they did last year, but I think they'll still underperform by all the hype that people are giving them in that comparison.
Buffalo
That
has
makes
proved who they are in this division. Although they haven't been able to win all the big playoff games, they've shown that
Yep.
they can definitely at least win this division. Definitely need to see what they can do going forward. But I'd give a nod to Buffalo too.
They also don't have a terribly tough schedule as a whole. Buffalo, when it comes to outside the division, they kind of have a cakewalk this year. So
And that's why I
would
said
feel
that
a
I
little
hope we
different,
still
too.
2 wins.
I would feel a little different if they didn't have Poyer and Micah Hyde still back there, but that's the backbone of their defense. So
And DeMar
It is what it
Hamlin.
is.
DeMar Hamlin played pretty well too. So I mean, it's
he did.
yeah, it's they're a scary team, and like let's think like Von Miller is going to be back on that team, and like if he comes back 100% and is still the dominant player. Let's put it this way: if he's 75% of the player that he is, it's a fucking problem. So like that's why I said I hope the Pats still 2 wins. I don't think we'll beat Buffalo one time. I do hope we beat Miami or the Jets one time. That's it. Like let's get one win on them, and I'll feel pretty good.
I agree.
I agree. I agree with that.
So, is it a possible wild card? Will they make the playoffs?
They're in the running for it, I think. But do I think? Like I said, my prediction is 9-8. I wouldn't be surprised if 8-9 again. So, do I think 9-8 gets in the playoffs this year in the AFC? I do not.
Yeah, no, I think the bare minimum is probably going to be 10 again. I think 9-8 is realistic, or 8-9. There's a shot. Like if crazier things can happen. You know what I mean? So if someone goes down, you know what I mean? I love Lamar Jackson, but we've seen what happens to him these last couple seasons. They can potentially, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that can go wrong across the AFC. Not everyone has super stable quarterbacks. We have seen a couple of these guys go down, so anything can happen. But we're sort of on the outside looking in, unless maybe we make a big play trade deadline or something, but I highly doubt it. But we're just currently on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
What if DeAndre Hopkins? How much of a help would have that been?
A lot.
Sorry,
how do you guys feel not getting it?
Okay, so I've had a very unpopular take on DeAndre Hopkins this whole time. I do not think he was going to be a fit here, just like I do not think he's a fit in Tennessee. And my reasoning is that I don't think – so my reasoning for why he's not a fit in Tennessee is because I don't think as long as Tannehill is at under center for them, I don't think he's going to be able to utilize Hopkins' strengths at this point of Hopkins' career, because I don't think Tannehill can push the ball down the field. I think Tannehill needs the short to intermediate slant routes in that area of the field, and Hopkins isn't quick enough at this point to take advantage of those types of routes. When it comes to the Patriots – I think they are going to be looking to push the ball a little bit more. I need to see more from Mac Jones, that he's a bit more accurate down the field to be able to take that into play. And the fact that if they're going to push the ball down the field with the receivers we have who aren't necessarily down the field type of receivers, it's just going to be too easy to double D-Hop. And in order for D-Hop to do what he does best on the field with 50-50 balls in double coverage, look, he can do whatever he wants in single coverage, but in double coverage, that ball needs to be where it needs to be. And I'm not confident Mac Jones can put that ball where it needs to be, 20, 30 yards down the field. So I don't think he would have been most utilized with the Patriots. Would he have helped us? 100% because of what we have now. I just don't think it would have been as good as everyone thinks it would have been. And my microphone is falling, so I apologize.
I just think that if DeAndre Hopkins is there, we have everything that we think Devontae Parker is, but better. So, and we don't. So, like that's where I'm at. Like you're probably not wrong. Like, are we gonna get Cardinals DeAndre? Maybe not, but we will still have not Devontae Parker as like our wide receiver one. So
Jagger. I mean, that's the thing, brother, because, DeAndre, you can line him up in the slot, you can line him up the X, you can line him up the wherever. It doesn't matter. It's DeAndre Hopkins, fringe top 10 receiver. Back in his heyday, he was top 5 no matter what, but now he's a fringe top 10. It is what it is. But even last year, you can see what he does. He can take the ball, and he will take it upfield if he needs it. We saw it against the Chargers. We saw it against us. He does it multiple times, and I really feel that would have at least made one guy that is a playmaker on our team that defenses just need to look out for and pay attention to. And that would have opened up the field at least a little bit for everybody else.
Agreed. So, exactly.
So his success, here's my so yes, 100%. You can't knock the stats. I attribute some of watching Hopkins, and I'm sorry, but his lack of first step, his lack of necessarily agility to break free from guys at the ends of routes. I think a lot of what worked for him in both Houston and Arizona is that he had mobile quarterbacks that changed the route. both Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray, because they could move the pocket, that also changes the route tree. That changes the finish point of the route. That it changes a lot. Hell, it creates free form routes. That works for him because then the secondaries, the safeties are jumping one thing. All of a sudden, Murray or Watson moves, it changes everything, and then DeAndre Hopkins all of a sudden finds a hole down the field. Someone like Mac Jones, someone like Tannehill, they don't move the pocket. And so it's a bit easier for defenders to be able to predict exactly where Hopkins is going to go and be able to post him up. That's my worry. Look, could I be 100% wrong? Yes, but that's what hot takes are for.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. But at the same time, you look at Mac and the kind of player he is, he likes to get the new guys on the team involved. We've seen it with Juju so far in training camp. We've seen it so far with Devontae Parker last season in the Ravens game, especially. I think he would have done that for a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. He was clearly trying to get him on the team. He followed him on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was doing things, and I felt like he would have really made that effort. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like Andrew on it. I think it would have just kind of been like, okay. I don't think it would have been like a major impact, or I don't think it would have set us back either. But like on a scale from 1 to 10, it would have been like a 5 or a 6. Like I think it would have just been like an okay. He would have got his job done. He would have definitely opened people up, kind of like CJ mentioned. He would have got his job done, but it wouldn't have done anything to catapult us into any sort of possible division winner. He's not at that level anymore, let alone possible. Maybe he could have helped us make a playoff push. Maybe a Hail Mary catch like he had against Buffalo a few years ago, but he wasn't going to make too much of an impact. I agree. Probably would have just been just okay.
Lewis, do you think he gets the Patriots a one win more than they would have gotten without him?
I think maybe, I think every receiver that's like CJ kind of mentioned, like fringe top 10, top 15, I think they will all have a game. I think D-Hop could have had a game with us where he could have turned back the clock and he could have pulled 150 out of nowhere, 2 touchdowns here, a 10 catch game. I think he definitely could have had a game or two where he's going to turn back the clock. And I'm sure he will with Tannehill. Derrick Henry will command a lot of attention. I'm sure he'll have a game or two here where he might flourish. I'm sure they were hoping with Julio Jones that didn't quite pan out for him, but I'm sure D-Hop could have made some magic, especially being back with Bill O'Brien, where he was having the highlights of his career. I think he could have had a couple games where he could have definitely won and turned the clock back just a bit.
I agree with you guys, man. And to a certain extent, I do agree that I'm happy we didn't sign D-Hop to a multi-year deal because we look at Jules when he got his knee injury and he had to take the steroids. He lasted 2 years and it was just kind of donezo. And D-Hop kind of went through the same thing that Jules did. He took the steroids and everything. He played well. I mean, Jules won Super Bowl MVP after that happened. But you play well for a couple of years, and then it just like that, Father Time will catch up. So I am kind of happy at the fact that we didn't have to do a multi-year extension for D-Hop.
And I guess it does make sense that like we don't have to do that, and then we're not in win now. Like D-Hop is at least like somehow Tennessee thinks that they are in win now. They've been in this delusion for 3 years now, and
they love
that's on that's on them. That's on them. Whatever, but we are not. We are in. Let's win 2 division games and let's make a splash for the wild card, and then build on that. Like draft some guys and then kind of go in. So it's like you're right. You're right. It's probably in the grand scheme of things and team building. It's probably good that we didn't sign him because then we have the weight of that contract there and if he's not playing well, he's just going to be pissed off, making cryptic messages on fucking Instagram. We don't need
But
that.
Jagger, you kind of said it, brother. Like win now mode. Why are we not in win now mode if Mac is on his rookie contract?
So they didn't build the team that way, unfortunately. That's the failure of this team right now, is that they didn't build it as if he's on his rookie contract. They built it as if he's on his way out. And that's a shame. That's a travesty.
And I don't think Bill Belichick is even playing that game. If you think about like he's not even thinking like that because like every other team like I don't know if any of you guys listen to Move the Sticks, but I'm devout on that, and they always talk about how modern rosters are being built. And you nailed it, CJ. It is win now. If you're on a rookie contract, it's win now. The Steelers, they're probably going to be thinking win now here pretty soon. Like the Panthers, they are a win in 3 years. Like in the next 3 years, they're going to try to win. And the same thing with the Texans. Can they do it? Maybe, but they stripped that team down to fucking nothing to get their quarterback. And they have no extraneous contracts or any crazy shit out there, and they can build the team around their quarterback. Bill Belichick didn't do that. We let Tom Brady go, and then we're like, what now? And here's where we are.
Yeah.
So, okay, since I have four guys on here that are Patriots, would have you rather seen Belichick go or Brady go?
Belichick. Both.
With what we
That's an unpopular.
That's a hard question.
With what we have seen, so we have the advantage of now seeing the aftermath of a few years of it. I would have rather seen Belichick go. At the time, I was 100% Team Belichick over Team Brady, though. Like, that made sense. I had faith in Belichick, but Brady stepped up to the plate and showed that he was the real deal even without Belichick, and that hurt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm happy we're all saying it out loud because I was the only one. Like I'm a guy who just kind of says what everyone's thinking, but I was just like, Belichick is that old grandpa where you're like, bro, like this ain't the way anymore, man. Like
yeah, we love you, but don't play beer pong with us. Get out of here.
Yeah, dude. It's like you nailed it. I've thought Belichick is kind of his style and method is a little dated for now for other reasons. But CJ, you kind of opened the gates on it. He's just not even building a roster to like the modern NFL. Like, and I've said this on multiple podcasts. Last year, we played an ancient offense. We looked old as fuck, man. Like we're doing that ground and pound, dink and dunk bullshit. That is like not the NFL. Like it's like watching like an old Indiana Hoosiers game where it's just a bunch of like white kids shooting jumpers and shit like that. Like, like what am I looking at?
Like,
Jagger,
if they fall,
you're not wrong.
They fall, right?
Jagger, I agree with you in a certain extent. The thing is, for me, it's kind of like what you touched on with Bill O'Brien earlier. Neither of them are good GMs. They're not going to be good with roster building. Thank God Matt Groh is here because he understands the current modern NFL. But they're amazing head coaches. And Belichick, I wouldn't really even consider him a head coach. I would just consider him a leader and a defensive side of the ball specialist. You know what I mean? He leaves whoever it is on
say
offense.
that yet. That is a fire statement. I love it.
Spicy. Well, like, did you guys see that they made Joe Judge assistant head coach? Like, I remember I was at work and I got the update in my watch and I said, don't like that. And I just like kept rolling.
So do you guys also think that Matt Groh has more power now than we want to believe he does? Or maybe not that we want to believe. I think we're at the point where we want to believe he has more power than he has. Do you think he has more power than Bill would be leading to or be willing to lead on?
I was listening to Bill's press conference. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
He was talking about Matt Groh, and he was saying this guy helps me with scouting, with player development, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all these different things. And I was like, that's the first time you've said that. Okay.
And then you hear Matt Groh talking about how, this is the first year I've only been spending money for the Patriots for the last 2 years. Like he's making comments as if he is the guy making decisions. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? All right, maybe Bill's finally taking a step back, and we're finally seeing a little bit of that come to light this offseason. We'll see.
To be honest, I thought that Josh McDaniels was going to be our head coach. Like
we all did.
Yeah, I thought when he said no to coaching Andrew Luck or whatever. Well, granted, he did.
Well, then we also how that turned out. Like, he probably saw the writing on the wall with that.
Maybe not, but I like him not taking that job or taking like a job the year that he should have probably taken a job when there was actually good quarterbacks to coach and not Derek Carr. He stayed. I'm like, oh, he's waiting on dad to die so he can inherit the house.
It made too much sense. It really did. And now it's
nowadays.
We'll see.
Now it's Rod Mayo, which is literally just a modern day extension of Bill Belichick because that's the guy he drafted.
I know.
And that was the center of our defense for multiple years, you know?
I think
if
for
Brian
Rowe,
Flores
it's going to
came back?
be. Yeah, I think for Rowe, it's going to be what happens the rest of the season and what gets said and what gets brought up throughout with the players and such. And what happens towards the deadline and any players that keep getting cut and brought on throughout. I'm sure we'll see his influence touched up, especially if anyone picks up on some not traditional Bill Belichick things that we've seen over the years, sort of like Andrew hinted at, listening to the press conference sort of raise some eyebrows. So we'd have to look for some of those moves that aren't necessarily Belichickian.
Exactly. You nailed it,
Wait,
Lewis.
I found looking at Bill Belichick in like a button-down shirt, not a sweatshirt was weird. Whenever he walked in,
He must have still been on Bermuda time, thinking he's in a Hawaiian shirt.
That's like,
No, he had like a button-down collar and shorts on. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Hey,
like anytime
Anytime he comes to Miami,
Jack
that's his fit.
every time
What
you see him
about Jack
smile, it
Jones?
almost
What's going to
feels
go on with him?
Yeah.
Jack
So
Jones?
are you guys surprised that there's been nothing, no punishment, no nothing, no words? He's just out there practicing.
His court date.
as if
His
nothing
court date
happened?
is August 18th. His court date's August
but
18th.
You know what, Andrew?
So yeah, but the Patriots in the past will have, like, they would have done something by now. I feel like.
Shipped
And
him to the
it
Browns.
seems
You know what,
like it's
Andrew?
different.
They would have shipped
You know what,
his ass to
Andrew?
the Browns.
Yeah, I'm listening.
All I gotta say is I'm not complaining. Jack Jones
No,
on the
I'm
Patriots.
not
I'm not
complaining
complaining, bro. I'm not
He's a
complaining.
dumbass, though. Who does that? I don't care if if his
Man.
story is true that it was his security guards, that he didn't know they were in there. Like, then still, fire them. First of all, second of all, like, that's still your property, man. The TSA doesn't give a shit. If it's in your bag and you claim that as your bag, that's
It's in
on
your
you.
bag. It's your shit.
Yeah.
You know,
So
And
still,
how
makes
do you
him a
not know
dumbass.
they're in
but-
there? Like, how do you not know they're in your bag? Your bag weighs an extra 10 pounds, like, on top of it in the carrying case.
Yeah,
Who the fuck
exactly.
would
So,
carry a
yes.
30, 40-pound luggage bag? I mean, I'm sure
Am-
that's
am I
like nothing to him, but still.
Am I happy he's on the field
Go
and
ahead.
is our secondary better with him out there? 100%. Am I convinced that he's going to be 100% participation in this year? Not yet. We'll see.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like, look, I love Jack. I think he's a talented player, but we saw his tweets from back in the day, like a month ago, about John Moran and all that, and then he goes and does the same thing. It's like, come on, bro, get it together a little bit.
It's
Get it
so
together.
embarrassing.
It is. But thank God for his lawyer. She is top notch, and he's gonna get through this, bro. He's gonna get through this.
I'm just saying, if Alvin Kamara isn't getting suspended, then I just like I don't understand.
I mean, yeah.
I don't understand the NFL. I don't get the NFL. Like the NBA, I feel like has standards that could be low, but I feel like it's like a consistent standard, like at least.
Sure.
But the NFL, they're like punch your girlfriend and throw in a pile of guns. They're like smoking pot to straight to the shadow realm. They're like, it makes no sense what they do. Like if you take the wrong antihistamine and it shows up on a drug test, they'll eat that ass off a roster so fast. But
You eat a fucking poppy seed burger bun and you're done. Like,
Dunzo,
Well,
you're Dunzo. You shouldn't
Well,
be
how
fucked
about
with
Chad
poppy
Johnson
seeds.
used to pop Viagra before the games?
Oh no,
That's
Did you
weird.
guys see that?
irresponsible.
That
That's
was
irresponsible.
that was just his way of making sure he got over the goal line as quick as possible.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
that's a hard guy to tackle.
Like, I heard that, and I was like, I mean, it's smart because he said they don't test for it.
What is your like?
What does
I
it
don't
do?
know.
What is
That's what I'm
what
wondering
is-
too. What does it do? Like, yeah.
It gets your blood
Like,
pumping. I can
if
tell
I
you.
play
I mean,
with
that's
a
what he
boner,
says. I
it's
don't
gonna
really
give
know.
you a
I
win.
don't use it.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. It just sounds like you're gonna have a heart palpitation if you keep that shit up. So I don't.
Imagine seeing
Whatever
him
gives you
run.
advantage.
Imagine being a cornerback, watching him running at you to block you with just a raging boner, and being like, "We good."
Like, for one, he might blindside me on a block because I'm just like I'm not gonna lie. You see a boner on the field, you're staring at it. You're just like, what the?
You think anyone's ever run like a crossing route with him and tripped over it?
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
What did he trip over?
Can you throw a flag on it? Can you be like, hey, he's got a weird boner?
Legal contact.
Yeah, like red card, something. I don't
Oh, damn. Ring toss of that shit. Oh man, we're now going way off topic. Get control of your show, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I brought it up. But
You did
Chad
say
Johnson did play for the Patriots, and that's when he said he was doing it, right?
Yeah, if you want to count that.
That was the first year. That was the first year I learned, man, never get hyped on a Patriots signing. I was talking so much shit. I was running my mouth. Like I had my Tom Brady jersey. I'm like, well, we're gonna win on the Super Bowl, bitches, blah blah blah. You know, I was like Ocho Cinco, you know, like I'm gonna get it tattooed on me. And then this dude, what was his stat line? It was sad. It was like a Kendrick
it was terrible.
Yeah.
That was one of those where you like his whole career, you make fun of him for calling himself Ocho Cinco. You're like, this clown, whatever. And the second he becomes a Patriot, you're like, yeah, Ocho Cinco, we're gonna take the next level. Let's go. Yeah, what a failure.
Randy Moss 2, baby. Like
Bullshit.
Randy Moss 2 Electric Boogaloo. That's what I thought.
God damn. What have we done? We
I
took
don't
a
know.
nice wholesome show and we turned it into this.
He's just giggling over there. He can't even collect himself. It was I don't know if it was the boner talk or if it was. Anyway,
All right. So back to D-Hop real quick. If you were Jones, would have you taken the high road like it sounded like you did, or would you just thrown it completely under the fucking bus?
No, I'll take the high road, especially if you're Mac. He already got a little jab from Calais Campbell earlier this week. And then we've heard he has his beef from last season with Brian Burns. So he already got players around the league that don't like him. I don't think we need to put out any more, we don't need any more targets. The Patriot logo enough, over the last 20-some years is enough for people to terrorize us. We don't need people coming at us for any more other bullshit. And Mac's already stirred up enough.
the best thing that Mac can do is just sit down, prepare himself, like a nice warm cup of shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
He just needs to perform. That's all. He just needs to go out on that field, perform, and then not act like a baby when he doesn't perform. That's what. And look, I do think that some of that was to make it glaringly obvious to the rest of the world where the problem lied. I think that's why he was very specific, and when he got upset, he was very clearly yelling at the coaches about the play timing coming in. Like, I think there's something to that. So I think that was a little bit strategic on him to make sure that everyone knew the blame's not on him, it's on the coaching. But still, like, just carry yourself better. That's what I need to see out of Mac this year. I think he has the talent. I think he has the brains. He has the football IQ for sure. I think he's got that. I need to see him be a mature quarterback now. It's year 3. Pull it together.
He kind of handles himself like a pop-collared rich boy who's gonna run his mouth at the club and then just get just lit up. That's like that's what he kind of reminds me of. Like at the bar,
late 90s preppy guy. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's just like,
Alabama national championship will do that to you.
Yeah.
He's the type of dude that's gonna like walk around. It's like, try that in a small town, He's like running his mouth.
We ain't going tonight, General. Come on.
I love you guys. I gotta go. It's been fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jack. Hopefully, you don't do too much cleaning.
I gotta do a lot of cleaning. I'm classic. My girlfriend gave me this instructions like 4 hours ago, and I took a nap. I smoked some pot, and I watched some Venture Brothers, and I did a pod. And now I'm gonna grind and do all the things that she asked me to do the last hour. So
No, you're not. You're gonna find a bag of cookies and be like, "Oh, munchies."
That we're past that item. The cookies are gone.
Sounds about right. Oh, and there he goes. That's also a typical Jagger style right there.
Oh man, he's a good dude. That's the first time I ever talked to him or met him.
Yeah, you got to look up some of his. Go on YouTube and look up some of his comedy stuff. It is not for the faint of heart. I will say that. And if you are easily offended, stay away. It ain't for you. It's funny as hell, though.
Is he like an Andrew Dice Clay?
What was that?
Is he like an Andrew Dice Clay?
Yeah, he just says some wild shit, like wild, like that you don't even know where he like you can't even fathom where he came up with it. Like there's just some stuff out there that you're just like, and then you can't help but laugh because you're like, I'm glad I wasn't the one that thought of that, but I'm gonna sit here and laugh at it because it's just true and funny, and that's all it is. It's just funny.
So he says shit that we're all afraid to say.
Beyond.
I like it. I like this guy more and more every day. I say a lot of shit too. And I sometimes even I get impressed by the shit that comes out of my mouth. Like, did I really say that? We've all had that moment. Like, did I really say that?
Oh yeah.
So where do you find his comedy? What's the YouTube channel?
Let me get what the actual YouTube channel is because I forget now.
I was gonna get him to do his little like how to get a hold of him before he left, but you said
no, he just kind of bounced. Just kind of bounced.
He's that guy at the party that gets everyone all hyper, and then you're like, "Where the hell did he go?"
Yeah, and then he gets out of there. Sucker, just deal with it. He's a lot of fun to do a show with. You know what? I can't find his YouTube right now. I forget what it is. He sent me what it was. He sent me links months ago to them, and I don't remember I didn't save the actual channel. Maybe yeah. I don't know. It's out there though. You know what? Hold on. I know how to find it. Hold on. And I'm not gonna say the name of it because it's gonna give it away, and I don't really want to be tied to that joke, but it's really funny.
So there's an inside joke.
Talk amongst yourself. Oh my! It's not even on here. Is it gone? What the hell? Please talk amongst yourself. I feel awkward doing a YouTube search now.
Sports talking. Yeah. You have any more questions for us as Pats fans?
Jag says is the YouTube channel if you want to see his comedy. Jag says.
All right, everyone, be sure to look that up if you're into mature stuff.
It's a really weird comedy, but funny comedy. Go for it.
Do I have any more questions for this team? Ooh. Are we gonna see one quarterback stay in the red zone practice, or are they gonna keep splitting it?
It's gonna be Mac Jones. I really think the Bailey Zappi thing was just a product of last year and needing to switch something up because the mood and the attitude of the team. I think that's all that was. I think Mac Jones they're either gonna believe in him or they're from the start or they're not gonna at all. I don't see. It's just not Bill's style to do like play by play switching the quarterback. I don't see that happening.
You know, I don't even know what happened last year, especially in that Chicago game. Don't ask me. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It was confusing. They shouldn't have even played Mac from the start because he clearly wasn't ready for everything going on. But
correct.
Bailey is a good quarterback as a backup. Let's keep him there. Let's have Mac be the starter who has played at Alabama, who has won a national championship, who has worked with the guys like Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle and knows how to play an elite game of football and read the game quickly. That's why Kyle Shanahan wanted him. That's why he was projected in that amazing quarterback class to be a top 3 pick. Let's keep him there and let's make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just got to stay with Mac all the way. I don't think we can need any more changes. He finally has things are on the up and up. I think we all agree. We're looking the slight rebuild. It wasn't like a total overhaul rebuild where we had to tank down to top 5 territory and picks and things of that nature. It's sort of a quick rebuild that's starting to be on the up and up, sort of a swift retooling. So I think you hold steady with your quarterback. Especially we're seeing now across the NFL, all these teams are starting to load up everywhere. There's all top-heavy juggernaut teams now. We kind of got to start preparing for that. And I think keeping Mac and not trying to run through another quarterback. And then if Zappe doesn't work, then we have to trade Mac because he's unhappy. Then we have to draft another guy. And then we're just in quarterback purgatory for the next decade. And we're just spinning the wheels over and over again. So I think we stay with Mac. We're giving him some tools to work with this season and just see what we can build on from here, week by week.
Let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys a quick question, because I know myself in that draft, I was hoping Justin Fields was going to fall to us, and unfortunately, Chicago made a great move. What are you guys' thoughts on the fact of us, having that kind of fast, twitchy quarterback that can just run the hell out of the ball?
If Josh McDaniels was going to stay here, that's what he wanted. I think it would have been great. Without Josh McDaniels here, I don't think it would have been good, because I don't think Bill wanted to take advantage of that style of quarterback. We saw him try it with Cam Newton, but that wasn't the full same style. That was Cam Newton past his prime. So you can't – and that was even with Josh McDaniels here. So that was like he just kind of, I can't even think of the word, placated to him, I guess. That might be the right word. I remember when we drafted Mac Jones, watching that draft live because that was COVID times, watching it on Zoom with my buddies, and getting really mad that we drafted Mac Jones. And it was because it reared its ugly head this past year. I hated the false swagger he walked up to the stage with. Like, it just looked arrogant, and I didn't love what I saw. I wanted Justin Fields, and I still love Justin Fields, but I can also admit that I don't think Justin Fields was going to be a fit on this team if Josh McDaniels wasn't the head coach.
Lewis, any thoughts, brother?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Chicago did make a good play jumping up to 12 and grabbing him when they did. I would have loved to get him, but I also kind of agree with Andrew on that. I don't think it would have been a fit for what we're running. We kind of already hinted on it. He kind of would have been in the same spot that Mac would be in right now, not with a whole lot, and it's kind of just him and the burdens all on him, kind of his early years in Chicago. Chicago is starting to turn things around now for him, and I don't know if we would have been able to do that. We've already talked about an old style coaching philosophy, slowed down roster, not the same. We are trying to retool, but I don't think Justin Fields would have been a good fit. And he was already getting bus talks and all this. He's not that good, yada, yada, yada. It would have been even worse with the Patriots. Again, going back to the target on their back, he would have just gotten extra, because we really haven't done anything to help Mac. So it would have just been the same with Justin, especially if McDaniels moved on and Belichick. Him with two coordinators, what they were doing last season, it wouldn't have helped him out. So it's honestly good for him.
You know what, man? I totally agree, bro. I really do agree. Like, Justin can't read plays the way that Mac Jones does. And for that reason, he wouldn't have been a fit in our offense. It is what it is. But, man, having Brady for that many years, Cam Newton for whatever it was, it would have been exciting to watch. It is what it is. So.
All right. Do we have any more roundtable discussion of the New England Patriots tonight?
All I want to say is we are a playoff team. We are maybe a 7th seed, but we should be there. We should be there. We are diverse. Nobody can guess what we're going to do on any given Sunday. It's like a mask, you don't know what we're going to do. And because of those reasons, because we have the right coaches in place, I really do believe that we can do it. I know that we don't have any playmakers on there that are going to make the differences, but we got all the right players that are going to make you second guess yourself. We really do. We've got a bunch of starters out there. No playmakers, but a bunch of starters. So we'll see what happens on any given Sunday.
All right, CJ. Well, how people get a hold of you, man?
You go, man, truly, bro. I am all the way in med school, like studying all the time. If you want to reach me on Instagram, CJYANKANA on Instagram. I can talk to you there about ball. Besides that, bro, I'm chilling on mid school, bro. It is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I hope you make it, man. How many years you got left?
3 more years, brother.
It was a long haul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. Well, hopefully you get your own office, or do you want to be in a hospital?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for coming on. I know it was last minute, but it's all good. I was joking with Andrew today. I said I can't find anyone. It took me forever, and then I talked to Matt, and Matt goes like, "Hey, I got Lewis," and I was like, "Okay." And then then you just happened to see a text that said they want to talk football, and you're like, "Yeah." So I thank you for that, Lewis. How people get a hold of you, man?
Well, you can follow my page, Real Guy Talk Pod, over on Twitter. We're currently on hiatus right now. Wife just had a baby 5 months ago, so we're focusing on getting back on track. But you can catch us there. We usually are live Thursdays and Fridays. We talk basketball, football. We get a little nerdy and a little anime and video games. We do our fair share of wrestling. Matt has actually come onto the show, has been a guest for our wrestling shows a few times, so you can always find us there. So, Real Guy Talk Podcast. This is me.
Congrats, Lewis.
Thank you. I have 3, bro. I'm
congratulations.
sick of the congrats. I'm sick of this, bro. I got 3.
Okay,
I have 3
fine, sorry.
girls. All right. So like this is my escape right now.
You need to get them. You need to get them into sports podcasting, Lewis.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
gonna
right?
be something. It's gonna be something. We're working on my 6-year-old. We're working on potentially getting a gymnast. So we're working on it.
There we go.
Nice. Andrew, let's hear about the pivots and divots.
Well, you got it backwards, but that's all right. It's divots and pivots, but we'll get to that. You can follow me on Twitter at Real Mr. Mallard. Few different places you can see me. If you're going out to the Fantasy Football Expo this year in just a couple weeks out in Ohio at Canton, I will be there with Fantasy Sports Corporation. You can catch me in my Mr. Sophistication glory. I'm going to be in full costume, full ready to go for that. Weekly, you can find me on the Dynasty. So go ahead.
What date is that? You're going to be in Canton?
So the day that the actual expo is Sunday the 13th, so August 13th. I will be in Canton, Ohio from the 10th to the 14th, though. So I'll be hanging around the area. Yeah, the Hall of Fame. Yeah, so we'll be there. There'll be a lot of good times there. So if you're in the area or if you're happen to travel out for that, come find us. We'll be having fun. We'll be doing some live shows from the floor of the expo. It'll be a good time. Weekly, Wednesday nights, 10:15. You can find me on the TSS Dynasty Hour as well over on Fantasy Sports Corporation. And if you like golf, the Divots and Pivots show, that's my show, hosted with Bud Copeland. Every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, we talk golf. We talk DFS golf and golf news all around the world. So come and check us out. We'd love to have you. Same place, Fantasy Sports Corporation on YouTube.
How'd you guys do on the Open? I meant to ask you that.
Okay, so I had overall my picks weren't wonderful, but one of my picks was Brian Harmon, so that worked out well since he won.
Nice.
And not many people picked Brian Harmon, so that was fantastic.
Do you do FanDuel or DraftKings?
DraftKings.
Like when you talk, just DraftKings.
Yeah, so we talk DraftKings, then we're also sponsored by Underdog, so we do talk a little Underdog as well, but mostly DraftKings.
Nice. I wasn't
Andrew.
sure.
Andrew, what's your Twitter again, brother?
At Real Mr. Mallard.
MALLARD.
MALLARD. Yeah, and then you can catch me on the weekly once the football season starts on the TSS Fantasy Show. I have a weekly segment on there that comes out on, I believe he airs at Tuesday mornings for Sophistication Station. I talk about your waiver wire pickups that you can go after.
Awesome.
Do you do a show with Jason or no?
So that's my segment on his show, on TSS Fantasy. Every now and then when I have the time, I jump on as just myself, not in character, to just be on the show. But mostly it's at Sophistication Station.
I wasn't sure if you did a show with him or not.
Not normal, like not a regular show, but I've been on his show many times over the years.
He's a great character, great energy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Unless his internet sucks.
Nah, he was, other than his internet, he was built for this. So 100% love it.
I love that guy. He's awesome. He's one of the first people I did a StreamYard with.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a good time.
But, you always have that moment, I guess.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, I thank you for coming on. People, hopefully, we learned a lot about the Patriots. We we learned they're either going to the playoffs as a 7th seed or they're going to be sitting out home at 8 and 9, 9 and 8 maybe. I don't know. Something in that range. That's where we're going with tonight. I like so no road trip to Vegas unless they play the Raiders.
That's about it.
Well, hey guys, thank you for coming on. I am Matt Sports Talking It. I've been on a rampage lately. I've had a show every day this week. So I don't really have a set program. I just kind of do what I do. I don't really know. But,
that's how it all starts, right?
Right. But hey guys, thank you for I work in a restaurant, so 10 to 8, like 9 o'clock is usually my time.
Yeah, no.
So I do have a set time. Does that count?
Close enough. You're good.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you having us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming on, guys. Lewis, I don't know if Matt's coming back on or not. I don't know. So bear with us. Andrew,
Okay.
thank you.